Right. Now you smell good. You ain't smelling like a whole pack of cigarettes and shit. Right, 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 right. Yeah, unfortunately, but with today's social media, the way that smartphones are, you have a choice to entertain the media or not. You have a choice to follow people or not follow people. You have a choice to engage or not engage. It's all up to you these days. Like back when I was a kid, there was only a few stations. I didn't have cable. We didn't have cable, so we had was it free? It's not free TV, but it was whatever the channels were that you could just tune into. You could tune in with your antenna and shit and get, what the fuck is that called? Why am I forgetting this? You had like a couple stations. You really didn't have no choice unless you had like cable, which cable, I don't know, I can't remember when cable came out, honestly. The antenna, right? So, you know what? It's up to you. You have a choice not to watch. You have a choice not to entertain. You have a choice not to believe everything that you hear. We actually talked about news media and assumptions on another morning show, Daxon. So hopefully you check it out. Where, that was one of the things. When the news comes on, what do you hear? We're reporting, we only have so many details. We will be back when we know more. And then then they come back with more details, the fucking details are all different. That's how it is. So you kind of have to be like, damn, do I even want to watch this shit until you guys know what the fuck you're talking about, right? Right. No, it isn't. And like I said, a lot of people will say, like, oh, well, you signed up for this. You signed up for in sickness and health until death do us part. And I beg to differ on that. I don't think that just because you love someone that you got to put up with a bunch of bullshit and that you got to deal with a bunch of crazy shit, or you got to deal with someone who's disrespectful to something, a change or a growth in your life. And I think as soon as you get to that point where you and this person aren't on the same page, you guys are not in alignment, and even though you guys have tried to work it out, I think we do need to allow ourselves to let it go. I think we spend a lot of time trying to fix some things that just aren't fixable. Now, I'm not saying don't put time and effort into your relationships. I'm not saying don't try to save your relationships, because you guys know I'm a hopeless romantic at the end of the day. I will always be rooting for love at the end of the day. But I do feel like at some time we have to be realistic. And I think some people hold on longer than what they need to because of the loss that they think they're going to get. And that loss is not usually the love and relationship. The loss is normally financial loss. And so I feel like when you are making decisions based on your financial loss, well, then you're going to get to that point of it's more of your ego. And so that's your lesson right there. That's your biggest lesson if you're holding on to someone it's not for love. Because love, there's no tit for tat in love. There's no recompense, right? There's no, I did this, you got to do this. So when you do something for love, it is only love. You're doing it out the love of your heart, right? Yes, it's great for someone to say thank you for loving me, right? But it's not needed. It's not necessary. Because when you love out of your heart space, you just do it. You don't do it to say what you did. It's not like, oh, I called you 10 times. You got to call me now. That's not love. That's a tit for tat kind of energy. So in love, if we come in love with a pure heart, able to love and able to let go, your experiences will not only be better, but you will be able to move on with your life. I think most of us have this dream of this one soulmate in this fairy tale fucking lifestyle, right? And that's just not the case. It's not reality. Not everybody has that fairy tale fucking, happy life. It just isn't. And I think we have to stop. We have to be realistic, one, and get out of the fantasy land. Not to say your life can't be magical, but I think we kind of put more on relationships and connections than what we should, and we turn them into this possession. So if you're seeing people, if you're having these conversations, and you got people who are saying shit like, "Oh no, he better not leave," or "She better not leave because I'm gonna do this, that, and the third," I would say maybe have the conversation like, no, that's not the way to go. If someone's like talking shit about their relationship because, the man has proposed to them, or the other way around where he's like, I don't know, whatever, whatever, have these conversations, right? Because Just because someone doesn't propose to you doesn't mean they don't care about you. And I feel like a lot of, especially, and I deal with more women than men, okay? I do deal with more women clients than men, more feminine energy, should I say. And it always is that because someone doesn't propose, it's like, do they love me? And I think we got to kind of take that part out to say someone only loves you if they marry you. I hear a lot of talk shows. There's a lot of men host, and I won't start naming them. You guys know them, that will say if a man loves you, he'll marry you. When a man's sure about you, he'll do this. And I think to an extent, yes, you know, maybe, but every man that doesn't propose to you doesn't care about you. Again, marriage is a contract. So I look on it on both sides. If a man is pushing marriage, again, it's a fucking contract. You have to ask yourself, why are you pushing marriage? Why are you trying to marry me so fast? I don't know. I think we should take our time and get to see people and get to see who they are. And that's why there's this engagement period. You know, people want to be engaged for like 6 months and then get married. And it's like, maybe do a little bit longer. See if you two can really withstand each other, you know, because most of the time when people are dating, it's good when you don't live together. The second your asses move in together, that's a whole nother ball game. When you're actually living with someone day to day, you know, I've seen people like come together and it's like total opposites. Someone is very messy and the other person is like ODC or OCD, ODC, OCD. Me personally, I can't deal with someone who's not clean. I'm sorry. I ain't picking your shit up off the fucking floor. I'm not your maid. It's not going down, right? Mm. Try not to hate your person though. Try not to hate them. You know, release that. Hopefully you're not still holding on to any of that. But yeah, just, just let it be that, because I feel like most of the time people get into that and then we move in, it's like, what the fuck? Who is this? Leaving dishes. That shit would piss me the fuck off. I would be like, nope, I'm done. I don't love you that much to where I want to clean up after you. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be real. So if there's a man who wants a maid, I'm not the woman for you. If you want a chef, I'm not the woman for you. Let me just put that out. You got to let people know up front. No, I don't cook. If you want a home cooked meal, that's not me. I'm not that woman. We will be ordering out, if anything. So, no. I think, in a lot of times you'll see men and women trying to impress the person in the beginning, right? How many people try to impress the person in the beginning? And then all of a sudden, it's like the true colors come out. Wait a minute, you used to cook, you used to do this. And it's just like, yeah, but that's not really me. Yeah, yeah, well, but I don't like to cook. Wait, you were cooking every day in the beginning. Every day you had a fucking plate ready. Come eat. I got you. Being all nice and shit. No. Yeah, see, Pearl, I'd have lost my damn mind. See, that type of shit, I can't. I can't. Like I said, the last man I lived with was 2002. That was my daughter's father. And luckily, he knew how to cook. Well, he didn't really like a lot of my food anyway. He always had a problem with my fucking food anyway. So it was just like I didn't cook, ethnic enough for him. It was a bunch of stuff between us that it just was never going to go. There was just a lot of stuff that was just never, we're never going to be together forever. Good morning, Shelvin. Good, good, good for letting go. Good for letting go. I think you just gotta remember your pet peeves, and a lot of people want to change someone. So just remember, you're never gonna change somebody, right? They are who they are. In the beginning, somebody will definitely try to, hey Erica, haven't seen you in forever. In the beginning, they will definitely try to woo you, whether it's woman or man, because both on both sides are very like in the beginning, let's impress someone, right? But then after that, it's like the real people come out. It doesn't take long for the real people to come out. And so I think you got to kind of look at that. We get so, we get so, the sex and other things, perks, those things kind of take us away from probably, really looking at somebody's behavior or actions, right? And then sometimes we're kind of like, damn, this person doesn't do what they used to do. That's the biggest thing. This person doesn't do what they used to do. Well, it's not that they don't do what they used to do. It's not them. They were doing it to hook, line, and sink, right? So that's why you should date people longer. In the beginning, it's always fucking magical, but sometimes it isn't, and people still stick around. But most of the time, it's magical in the beginning. Only after time, you start to see this person's true colors. And I think people need to realize, like, let me really make sure that we're aligned. Let me really make sure that this chemistry doesn't have me going cuckoo for this person. Let me make sure that it's just not my, the fantasy of what we could be, because we stay in the fantasy of what we could be, right? I can, boo. I can do a reading. I mean, I'm, not, but technically I can if you need one. This is the morning show, boo. You've been missing it. So just understand that. Give yourself time. Let yourself date and be okay to let somebody go. And don't be mad if they don't meet the requirements. Don't get mad if you don't meet their requirements, right? Don't get mad. Hey Terry, how are you, boo? Because that's life. People are not possessions. We don't own them. They're here in our life for whatever time frame they are. If you just get up every day and appreciate that and love them wholeheartedly, you never have to say I shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? You know that you do. It is, Terry. 11:11, boo. Right, right. I know personally when it comes to marriage, I want to make sure, again, I don't give a shit about the contract, right? So I don't care about running off to get a contracted marriage, but I feel spiritually entwining my life with someone else. I feel like I want to make sure me and this person vibe on a certain way. Like I said, there's certain things I don't do. So if a man is looking for certain things, they're not going to get from me. They're not gonna get it. It's just not gonna happen.